Sorry. You don't look that bad, Fiona.
Thanks!
Thanks!
You've had worse days.
You are perfectly passable, and that's what you should remember.
Thanks.
At all
For a
times.
Fiona.
For Fiona.
For a Fiona. Or how
Oh,
Fiona
fine.
fares. It is a level. Hello, everybody. So, we are going to jump straight in because we've got lots to be getting on with, and I can't wait to put you guys on the spot, essentially, is what I'm going to do. So, last time, I just have written down here, Aubrey had a run-in with the Order. I think that's quite a good
fun
one, that
memories.
one, yeah. You managed to journey to a little island called Xerieos, a set of very forested, low-lying islands where you were looking essentially for a scroll of greater restoration. You'd follow leads that there were criminals, some sort of black market network supplying Ybrit from this particular island, and that they may have a scroll of greater restoration. You'd found several leads around the city, including in the Cathedral of Xarnor. Once you got here, you were swiftly intercepted by the Justice, a large, imposing, state-of-the-art military warship run by the Order of the Blazing Sun, the very same organisation that Theren was brought up in so lovingly and happily.
Oh yeah, he's not got issues.
No, not at all. You met some of the people who helped him to not have issues, including High Inquisitor Vulcan, a very short, pompous and aggressive man who seemed to like his armour being as big as possible and his sword even
Can't think
bigger.
That reminds me of it all.
Exactly. You were essentially boarded and captured for interrogation. You kind of had other ideas though, Brooker. You escaped, transforming into a shark. You managed to retreat to the island of Genderly's Rest, the only sort of port or tavern in the area. When we say that, it's more of a small trading hub of about 10 to 11 structures, but when you got there, had all been burnt down and destroyed, with the exception of the house right at the top that seemed to be owned by Genderly, a very old, cataracted gnome who had gone slightly insane based on the fact of all the death and his loss of family and all that.
Old chestnut.
Yeah, exactly. God, Ryan, you make such boring campers. That's so depressing.
No, just terrifying.
Aubrey, you resisted arrest. You were not happy with the idea that you were going to be manacled, which is fair enough. It's something Aubrey wouldn't be particularly keen on. And when everybody else decided to comply is a good word, the manacles had been put on you, you weirdly decided to snap after that point and attempted to escape. One of the Inquisitors, I think, and again my notes are a little bit bad from last episode, but it was Inquisitor Regulus, I think, was the guy in
did not
charge.
forget that man's name.
No, I was just checking. Inquisitor Regulus, who started casting heat metal on your manacles. You took a swift exit onto the ship, seemingly jumping to your doom, manacled up, straight overboard and into the water. Aubrey, knowing better, is very good at swimming these days.
Alright.
And you managed to actually break 3 of your manacles, but once you returned to Genderly's Rest to find the same island that Brooker was exploring, the sudden realization that whilst Brooker had the bag of holding and all of the magical items, you didn't have your mithril +1 great axe, which had been left on the falling star.
Yes.
Not so good. Theren, Kisaki, Sacha, Drazda, Odie, Vincent were all taken aboard the Justice, where Theren, you in particular, were subjected to a little bit of cross-examination from High Inquisitor Vulcan.
Yeah.
A man who, whilst being very high up in the Order and was commanding a large warship, a very new warship in the Order's arsenal of honour as such, a man who potentially has a little bit of a bone to pick with one Alaric, champion of the
Don't know who that is.
Champion of the Dawn, the contender who very much sort of took him off the top spot when he was gunning for it after the death of the last champion. So whether or not there was a little bit of negativity there, it's difficult to say, but he cross-examined you.
Couldn't tell.
He basically explained the Order's presence on the island. They were looking too for criminals. They had heard wind of the same network that you were trying to hunt down, specifically the dredging of artifacts from deep beneath the seas, which the Order is not so laissez-faire with. They
don't love that.
No, they don't love it. He offered you a trade, or more requisitioned you.
Yeah, I don't recall there being
To
any
meet
sort of...
in the morning, the next day on sunrise, and to venture onto Zelidia with his presence along with 2 inquisitors, where you would find, hunt down, and destroy the criminal network on Zelidia and appropriate whatever they were doing. He mentioned a patrol that had been sent about a week previously of various members of the Order that had gone to search for these criminals but hadn't returned from the island, and he was remiss. He just didn't want to send any more of his men into the unknown, and he didn't want to leave the ship particularly, but with your backup, with the more expendable manpower, he was more willing to do it. You all gathered on Genderly's Rest. A lot happened last session. You spoke amongst yourselves and you agreed that potentially going along with what the Order were doing would not necessarily be the best thing you could have done. And you decided to venture into Zelidia as the sun set that same day. After trudging through the mangroves and the swampland and the very forested island that it is, night fell, and you stumbled, quite literally, upon a large reptilian, multi-headed creature that snarled and bit from its 5 heads that seemingly regrew when they were severed, a hydra, which you dispatched with relative ease, actually.
Right.
Yeah, with 4th level spells and a couple of well-placed smites and a flying rage machine. You took the
That's not
hydra on
enough.
capably. But unfortunately, by doing so, you alerted a presence on the island. And whilst you were taking some time to heal and rest, Odie was assaulted completely by surprise. The first thing she knew about it was the short sword protruding the wrong way through her torso as she was knocked to 0 hit points in 1 hit, and a dark-skinned tabaxi with black fur, hooded and cloaked, very secretive and calm, but very threateningly with the sword in front of Odie's neck, asked you what you were doing, referred to himself as Blackstar, somebody that you'd heard on Genderly's Rest, and told you that if you didn't leave the island alone, he would kill you one by one. But after seeing you fight and kill the Hydra, a fairly substantially strong creature, he offered you another trade. If you could remove the presence of the Order from Zelidia, the warship in particular, thus freeing their network of ships in and out of the island so they can trade again, so they can get food in again, so that the supplies of black market equipment can leave the island again, he would become your ally. Leaving the forest in the dead of night, it's about midnight by the time you find your way back to the beach from whence you first arrived onto Zelidia. The waves breaking on this beach. It's a very low-lying beach, but still just breaking and breaking. It's cold. After travelling in the forest for some time, your clothes are dewy and wet. Your breath, you can see condensing. Still spring, early spring. Still cold at night. You gather on the beach and begin the preparations to take a long rest. And that's where we pick it up. What would you like to do?
Theren will be...
Over to you, David.
Theren will have distanced himself from the camp and kind of be sort of looking out at the justice. I want to make sure no one is in his shop before I do what I'm about to do.
Okay.
So,
Make an investigation check for me. Try and find somewhere a bit stealthy, a bit hidden.
17.
17, okay. You remove yourself into a spot.
Great. I draw Bear Claw.
Okay. The sword held in your hand, nice and light.
I just want to clarify something.
Yes.
Regarding the most recent
Oh yeah.
change,
Yes?
I presume I'm now aware.
Oh, yes. Yes, very much so. It's over the last few hours,
Yeah,
it's becoming more and more apparent.
great. I hold the sword in my hands
Yeah.
and I say to it quietly, whatever you're trying to do, if you kill me, then you will also be lost. We need each other. I need you to stop doing the things that you're doing to me. If I become weaker, you will end up in someone else's hand, and everyone else doesn't see the blade I see. You will be forsaken, melted down, destroyed. I need you to stop what you're doing and work with me, and I will give you exactly what you want. I swear.
There's a sense coming from the blade. It's not words, it's not images, it's just a feeling. It's more of a background emotion that rises in you. A change in the way that you see things. It's almost like a background influence in your mind, just tapping away, and it's comforting. The words as you say them, it brings you hope. You feel complete, you feel strong, you feel very much a different person to the Theren that set off from Harpley all those weeks ago. But it's flavoured with almost like a metallic aftertaste, this thought, it gets into your brain, and every time your thoughts become calm, it cuts back in slightly, just of jealousy, just of sadness, loneliness. Bruca, you notice Theren leaving, and you see him do this with your passive perception.
Okay. I would just watch and wait for him to finish.
Okay. Theren eventually, I imagine, would come back over.
Yeah, the last thing he says to the sword before he puts it away and returns to the camp.
What's up? You were talking to your sword.
Yes, it's sentient.
Yeah, I presumed. I didn't think you were crazy. You don't strike me as the kind.
Well, that's
But
flattering.
why are you talking to your sword?
Because it's sentient.
I mean, there are many sentient people around. You tend to have a reason to speak to people. With swords especially, I imagine.
Yes, Master Bruker, and clearly your intelligence on the subject is quite remarkable. The issue here, this weapon grants me power. I feel the more understanding I have with it, the more powerful it and I will become. Thus, the more useful I will become to all of you.
Okay, this is good. But why did you walk away?
Because I didn't want
It's a bit unnerving.
The walking away?
The speaking to a sword, I understand. I don't know why I asked.
Yes, I thought it'd be quite odd if I just suddenly started.
Yes.
Yes.
But everything is okay.
Yes, everything's fine.
Do I believe him?
Do you believe him?
No, I'm going to keep an eye on him.
Alright. I won't make you roll against each other. You are players. You can react to that as you will. Aubrey,
I've probably never come across speaking swords before, so I don't know.
make an Arcana check.
Oh, okay.
Make it with advantage because of your background in trade.
So Arcana. There's a 10.
10? You've never personally come across anything like that. No, you've heard stories of powerful items. You know that the Midnight Marvel is rumoured to have had very powerful weapons come through it at some point, but you've never had any dealings with them yourselves. You've never had the money or the inclination, really, to seek that sort of thing out.
Where did you get it?
It was given to me. Have you been to the Beggar's Bowl?
No.
We were there some time ago. well, we had Blue with us, and Aubrey was killed.
Okay.
Blue and I encountered a Fae, specifically the Bear King. He told us both that he could restore Aubrey, but he asked for two things. One, that we return a pendant of sorts to him that was stolen, and that we kill the thing that stole it, a hag of sorts. He gave me this sword, presumably for me to kill the being with it. Since then, Bearclaw's power has only grown and granted me abilities that I have not seen before.
A holy man cavorting with Fae.
Yes, well, I'm beginning to worry that maybe the side that I thought was right this whole time isn't, and maybe everything is more complicated than...
I find things tend to be more complicated.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
How do you make sense of it all? How do you know what's right and what's wrong, and how do you know you're not a bad person that does good things instead of a good person that maybe does bad things?
I don't think it's quite that binary. You're not bad, you're not good, you're just you. There's good and there's evil, sure, but it's not one or the other. So you're older people. They want to destroy bad people,
Yes.
but in doing so they are killing middle of the road.
Perith made me swear to her that I would destroy all forms of evil in her name.
That's quite vague.
How do I know what is evil when something I would stop, the massacre of an entire town, was done by those that sort of teach me what evil is?
I think there is a reason that she did not give you names or like a chart of evil.
A chart would have been particularly useful.
It's because she wants you to choose for yourself. And that's part of growing up, is learning the chart of evil. It's like people who evade tax, people who like make orphans, there's is a scale.
Yes.
Arcanite somewhere.
Yes, killing innocents.
In regards to this, how do we know who is bad and who is good? We have these criminals that are creating this substance and having people addicted to it. You've seen its destructive effects.
Yes.
We have a group that wants to destroy them. That is a good thing. However, this group would kill anyone to do so. That is a bad thing.
Yes, by the feel of things, they've already done all the killing of innocent people. So
I imagine High Inquisitor Vulcan will do a lot more before he retires.
So, they are both evil. Can I bring in Aubrey in this?
I imagine you probably would have heard by this point, unless you're off doing something
I was just
different.
literally all I was going to do is just sort of watch the justice and just take watch.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
by this point, you would have heard the conversation. Yeah. The justice, by the way, is anchored offshore. It hasn't moved very far from whence, when everybody was boarded.
Yeah.
Um,
Any lights on it at all?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's lit. There are lanterns at the front and at the back of the Justice, and you can see patrols. The sails have been tidied away and packed up. It doesn't look like it's going to move anytime soon, but the Falling Star also has gone.
Yeah.
Sailed away by Captain Sarcher, who is keeping it out of the way, effectively. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just assume then, presumably at some point, I'll probably be telling the others don't create a fire or anything like that. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll probably telling them.
Perfect. Yeah. So there's no fire. It's cold.
Yeah.
I can hide the fire.
Oh.
Yes.
Cool. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
No, we should all.
I imagine this is good. You're having this conversation, and Aubrey wanders over to say we shouldn't
No,
have.
stop. Vincent, put that down.
What do you mean? Bloody freezing. They know where we
I
are.
know, and I know Odie's not very well, but we've got to hide the fire. Look, Brooker, do your thing. Smoke.
Do my thing. Okay. I use my pipe and smoke out a puff of a ring of smoke.
Yeah.
Then kind of goes up for a bit and then encapsulates a 30-foot radius sphere.
Okay.
Total cover that blocks the sphere. While within the sphere, you and your allies gain +5 bonus to stealth and perception checks, and any light from open flames in the sphere, campfire, torches, or the like, isn't visible outside it.
Whoa!
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Not quite a
Yeah, but no.
demon's tiny hut.
But it hides the fire, which is
pretty
what I
good.
wanted.
Yeah.
So. Oh.
There we go. So, the effect takes place and the fire eventually is lit. Vincent and Odie doing that. Odie seems quiet,
Yeah.
but determined, as if she was going to sort of get on with it. You see her attention is, with all of your passive insights, especially you, Broker, you probably notice this first. She's constantly looking around, as if something's going to jump out, noises, branches. The odd crashing wave will catch her attention. She settles down slowly, but there's certainly a bit of shakenness to her. But they light the fire. Vincent sort of pops his head. Oh, it's better. It's much better.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you all talking about what we're going to do? What's the plan?
Yes, I was saying we've got two evil things,
Now,
but a varying scale on the chart of evil. Do you believe in variable evil?
Well, no. You hear some of the stories we hear around the Adventurers Guild. It's quite obvious that not everything is what it seems. You know, one thing that happens, and by the time it's made its way back to Yibrit, it's very different. There's a lot of good and evil in the world. I don't really believe much of it. It's kind of what we see.
and not that I'm at all opposed to discussing philosophy with you all, but I think we need to focus on the more practical aspects. The
Yes.
Order will be here
Yes.
at dawn.
Quite. That is the most pressing point. We have enough time to get some rest. Whether we want to stay here or whether we want to go slightly inland, I don't know. But the most pressing things, I think, are that the Order will come and find us in the morning.
Yes.
That I believe both sides have powerful people.
Yes.
And that we probably want to side with one, although we don't have to. We could do our own thing. But, well, we came after a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we should focus on that. What's the best possible course to get us a scroll?
I have somewhat of an idea. We came here after a scroll, yes, but we also came here to stop what is happening. Now, I don't like what the Order has done, but if we side against them and the criminals continue their work here, that settlement will have been destroyed for nothing. I don't want to work with that man. I despise him, but I see it as the lesser of two evils.
Also, it's the known evil. So we understand how to, I presume you know, to some extent, how to deal with them.
Yes,
I'd
more
be...
than an extent.
I don't... They haven't... Well, they hurt you, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's fine. I'm thinking the Black Star, he didn't say how many of his were on it. Maybe it's just him. But what he did was pretty fucking impressive. But it's... And he probably took out that whole group. That's what he said, the events.
Yes. 7. Theren would assume they'd been Inquisitor level, wouldn't you?
A scouting party? Probably not. No, Inquisitors tends to lead things. You imagine
So there'd
that,
be an Inquisitor and maybe a couple preservations
and mostly service. Yeah,
great.
Inquisitors are trained and proven members of the Order. They are leaders. That's what you're aspiring to, effectively.
Regardless, the man clearly has a great deal of skill.
Mm-hmm.
I think having all the extra blades on our side would help. You could be right, it could just be him, but I would put everything I have on the opposite being true.
Well, just a thought. He didn't specifically say anything about killing the Order. He just said to remove them. Is that an option? Is that Theren? You know them better than most. Is there a way that we could just
Tell them
get
to
them
leave.
to go?
Well,
Yes.
they wanted you to find proof of what happened to the scouting party.
Yes.
We know what happened.
The Hydra. We
Yeah.
could say.
We killed the Hydra. Or you killed the Hydra.
I understand what you mean, Vincent, but if we send the Order away and the criminals continue the operation, it's the same as if we were to attack the Order.
Well, but do they have to know? There's a fully grown Hydra corpse about 3 hours from here. We take its heads, bring it back. We say, look what did it. It's quite convincing. They would leave.
Why would they leave? They were here to kill the
They're here to
Arcanite.
stop the Arcanite.
Yeah.
But-
And
There's
I
nothing
remind
here. We looked around, there's nothing here, but we did find a Hydra that seems to have killed all your patrolmen, and we killed it for
the
you.
Hydra that was making Arcanite.
Well, they don't...
But
Do they
that's-
know?
That's true. Now that the threat is gone, what would stop them going into the forest to find what they're looking for, which is Arcanite?
Hmm.
That's what you're probably getting at, right?
Yes. And if we did send them away, the criminals would still continue the operation, an operation that we all swore to stop.
Well, we can deal with that, but I think the more important thing is getting rid of the Order, personally.
Not first. So we deal with this ourselves. Get rid of the Order and then we deal with...
Yeah.
Alright.
Ambitious, but
Uh,
morally.
it's-
We would be taking one... Yeah, not dealing with both problems at once.
Alright.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, these people, they may be bad people, but what if they have a scroll? If we can ally with them, even temporarily, get what we needed, rescue Blue, and then destroy them, what's the priority here? Because at the moment we're here to exterminate all evil, to corrupt, or to remove the corruption of the Order as you see it, and to save Blue. There's a lot going on here. What is our priority? What's the option? Because it seems to me that if we're here to exterminate, and the scroll isn't here, well,
A lot of effort lost.
and Blue is no closer to...
Coming back.
I don't know. Odie and I, we will follow you in whatever you wish to do. It's not our choice, but
I think you make a good point, Vincent. Our original plan was to come here for Blue.
Alright. Plan A. We get the Hydra heads.
Mm-hmm.
Try and convince High Inquisitor Vulcan that the Hydra did it.
And that we found nothing else.
Theren takes off his symbol of the Order. Cuts his palm.
yeah.
Bloodies the symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all we found.
Isn't that...
They'll ask where the bodies are. It's thin, but I don't have anything else.
That's what we've got. That's what we'll work with.
I would imagine they would have all been eaten.
Let's say that's plan A then.
I like it.
Plan B, if they don't buy it, I say we use the Order's swords to wipe out the organisation here and deal with what needs to be dealt with when the time comes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So we can prove to them what killed their scouts. What's the story for us not finding any Arcanite production? Because that's why they're here.
Let us say that we discovered the fate of the scouts, realised how late it was getting, and chose to return here and wait for them to come back to deliver the report, instead of proceeding on and missing the appointed deadline.
Yeah.
Heinquist of Vulcan would expect that I am here to meet him. Those were his orders.
Okay, so they'll still want to come and have a look. We're not getting rid of them just by showing them a head.
We can simply say that we have tried. Vincent, Odie,
Yes.
would the two of you be willing to sneak into the forest and come back at some point during our discussion with the Order? I will say that I sent you out as scouts to look for Arcanite. You can say you found no signs, even if you just hide in the trees for 3 hours.
Yes, of course we can.
Odie,
We don't have any ranged weapons left.
Yeah.
We're pretty... You know,
Light
if
on
something
the
does
ground.
come from the... Look, I'm not going to lie. This is Odie speaking right now. I'm worried. What if he comes back? What if he sees us with the Order and attacks?
I can use some magic so we just hide in a tree, like 3 trees further down or something.
that would work.
Are you two
What?
quite stealthy?
Yes, we think so.
Okay, because they don't know I'm here either, so I need to hide.
The only other problem I see is that they will be expecting to see Kaseki.
Yes.
I
And they not seeing Aubrey. There's a lot of... There's several parts here.
So,
They think Aubrey drowned off the side of the ship in manacles.
So us 4 hide.
I mean, that's a good thing, right? Because
Yeah.
Aubrey is our shock troop. What if we... And Mrs. Odie sort of...
Zoe
hypothetically
speaking.
said, what if we lure them into the forests and ambush them there, away from the rest of the Order? The ship is powerful and strong and with cannons and... But 3 of them, we could easily overpower them.
Whoa, Odie, we're now talking about...
You're asking me to raise my sword against my superior
Not
officer.
to kill, no, but to... Well, incapacitate.
Yeah, show of power to Blackstar, who will probably be watching our every movement that we tried, and then he might come to our aid.
Is Vulcan somebody that could be threatened? If we were to... Well...
Isolate off from his
beat him, tie him up, and then threaten him with death unless he left? Would he choose death? I'm not sure who we're dealing with here.
I would lose everything.
Well, you wouldn't have to be there. There's all of us they don't know about. Well, actually, no, they know about us, but not Bruca and not Aubrey. I think Aubrey's dead.
But going...
There's a lot of... I appreciate her. There's a lot of moving parts. Whatever you want to do.
Going against them, getting the scroll and or just misleading them is one thing, but to physically attack, even if I don't attack them myself, even if I leave all of you to do it, I am condoning an assault on my father's people.
It could be a last resort.
I would ask that we consider it just that. I do not wish to have to answer that question to myself at this point.
Okay.
Right.
I like how we went from trick them to make them go to away to lure them into the forest and kill them. in like
I'm
5
just
seconds.
I'm just raising options here. I don't know.
I'm going to
Look,
go
well-
get a Hydra head. Does someone want to come with me?
I'll come with you, but I do have an idea. No one's going to like it. So they're expecting Kaseki and not me. Brooker, you have a spell that can change people into other things. Can it change into similar looking people?
I could make you look like Kazaki. It would be quite a powerful spell.
Mm-hmm.
But we could trick them.
But it's like We would,
To what purpose?
Well,
Yes.
to continue the
Deception.
but we could just tell them that Kazaki's making sure the ship is okay because we saw some creepy things under the water.
But it also give Theren some backup.
Yes.
If it's just him on his own talking to.
They will be expecting to
Regulars.
see her. This is going to be.
But you would be in that form. You would not be you. So it
I
might
said-
make you vulnerable.
I said might not like it.
I'm just warning you, it's your funeral.
I think it's a good idea.
I'd make a good Kasaki.
I
Wow. You're gonna have some conflicting views if we get through this one.
think you've spent enough time talking with her. Can you act like her?
She doesn't talk much. Can you do that?
Sure. I'll have lost my voice due to.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll burn a 4th level spell.
No, not now, but
I know.
it's an idea.
When I have one.
It's a blue idea.
I agree with it.
Okay, sure.
Right. Aubrey, let's go get the Hydra head. The rest of you want to get started on this campfire. When we get back, Aubrey and I'll get some sleep.
Sounds good.
Right.
I will keep first watch.
Thank you. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. So, Brewcat,
It's like,
take first watch for me. So make a perception check.
Oh,
Oh, God.
shit! That's a natural one.
Natural one!
What does that come up to?
That comes up to 8.
8.
That's still
Jesus.
okay.
Alright,
It's
fine.
Smoke.
So, Theren and
Oh,
Aubrey.
do I have a bonus? I
It's
do.
plus 5. So 13.
13. Thank you.
There we go.
Get those double figures from a natural one.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. Plus 12. That's pretty good. So, Aubrey and Theren,
Yeah.
you make your way into the forest. Are you doing this slowly? Are you doing this stealthily? Or are you just wandering in with speed? It's about 3 hours there and 3 hours back. It's about midnight and you have just enough time to have a long rest. But if you do this, you won't.
Yeah, it's the plan.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So, how are you moving? Stealthily?
I think we'd just be going as quickly as we can. Like,
Yeah.
that we know we're being going to be watched.
yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'd like you both to make survival checks as the two of you try and find your way.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Oh! Natural 20!
Alright, you are dead focused
We
on
make it
this.
back in 15 minutes.
Like that.
Right.
1 20 20.
And both make an athletics check for me as you attempt to move at some pace over a distance.
17.
That's an 11.
Okay, fine. With Aubrey, you get a little. You set off quickly, and then you
Yeah.
regret it quite. About 15, 20 minutes in, you're like, oh god.
God, why?
It's been a long
so
day.
hot.
It's been a long day. You've still got like injuries down your arms.
I do
You
have
are
those,
not doing great. So you make your way into the forest. You do it at about twice the distance. You move at a sort of fast pace. So instead of 3 hours, it would take 2, roughly. You find your way to the Hydra. The corpse already reeking. Flies have gathered around it, but he's still lying there. The heads are, big,
Sorry.
big things.
Big buggers.
Yeah. You can easily sever them. I'm not going to make you roll for it. Only Blue does that. But...
That still makes me laugh.
Let's just say, are you just taking the one? You want to take them all?
Theren would suggest taking one. He would also take the bloody order symbol and sort of like open the thing's head when it's been beheaded. Open the thing's head and sort of like put the tie the symbol around a tooth.
Yeah.
Almost like it's
Like floss stuck.
yeah, like it's been stuck between its teeth or something.
Yeah. Alright. So, you easily behead one of the heads of the Hydra. Yeah, you've got it. Takes you about 10-15 minutes.
Great.
And then you make your way back.
Great.
Make another athletics check for me.
Natural 1.
Ooh. Athletics. Ooh, yeah, it's 25.
25. Okay, between you, again, it's tiring. It's very tiring, but you make your way back to the camp. It takes you about 4.5 hours in total. Bruca, first watch, you are watching out. You're mainly, you every now and then you hear sounds from behind you in the forest, but your main interest is the justice. It's the sort of the movement and the sight that you can hear. You watch as patrols seem to regularly pass up and down the ship, lanterns lit at the front, the back, on several of the masts, keeping everything going. You think you see a sort of glint of something on the deck at some point, maybe sort of an hour and a half in, but it's difficult to see. Really, you're sort of squinting, just out of your range, but nothing happens. Vincent offers to take second watch.
Okay, and I should have done this before I started watching, but I'll cast Lesser Restoration on Odie because she was struggling with what had happened during the day, maybe just to ease her sleep and help her get better sleep.
Okay.
And then I will go into a trance for 4 hours.
Okay, fantastic.
Sorry.
Vincent will take watch, so can Vincent make a perception check with +5?
Sure.
+5, come on.
That is 12.
12. Even with +5.
Yep.
Yeah.
7.
Is Vincent that bad at perception checks? I thought he was pretty good at perception checks.
So you got a 7 plus.
Oh, that's 8.
So 7
7
plus 8 plus
15.
5.
+5.
+5.
Yeah, because of the
Yeah,
perception
20.
check.
So 20, not 12, but 20. I was going
Sorry, I
to
thought you were
say,
saying
Vincent
plus-
is like,
I thought, yeah, because I
Sorry,
thought
you-
Yeah.
skill
He said
man.
plus 5.
+5 as in
Minus
with
my
his...
smokiness.
Got ya.
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah.
alright,
Yeah.
5.
20.
So, you all sort of sleep. Odie is zonked out. He sleeps well. Vincent is keeping watch, and about sort of half an hour into your trance, you just feel a sort of like pushing on your shoulder that wakes you up, and he's like, "Something's here, something's here." And about 10 seconds later, Aubrey and Theren sort of come out of the sides of the forest, making their way down the beach, and he's like, "Oh, thank God! Oh, don't worry, false alarm."
No, that's alright.
Once you're back in, you see the party sort of in full rest mode. Vincent sort of nods as you come back in.
Right, yes, can you make sure that's fine? I need to eat something, I'm starving.
Theren,
Good berry.
Thank you.
Theren, I want to say thank you for what you said on the ship when I was being myself. You tried to stand up for me. Didn't work, but I appreciate it for what you did.
I know you and I have a lot of differences and disagree on almost everything, but you're my friend, and I will do whatever it takes to keep you alive and keep you with us. I'm sorry if I've ever seemed righteous or condescending. I hope you know that I really do value your friendship. Before you ask, no, I'm not dying.
Hadn't even crossed my mind. Thorn once had a saying, which was, you can't choose your family, Aubrey, but you can choose how they impact your life in a meaningful way. I understand the Order is a family to you, but maybe you shouldn't let them impact your life as you let them do currently. That is a friend saying that to you.
Thank you, and I understand what you mean. It's just, you're right in that maybe it is the closest thing to a family I have, but
We're your family now. I gesture to the whole camp. Also, before you go, I talked to the sword earlier.
Right.
Didn't say anything, but I thought I heard. You get this. I thought I heard him. He said something about if only he trusted the sword. Is everything okay? Like, in general, like, I kind of felt bad when I did my normal.
Well, everything's not okay. We're in the middle of an island and the Order are here and
Yeah, but if you say you should trust the sword...
It's just that I've not really been...
I mean, you shouldn't trust the sword.
What?
It's a weird sword.
On the weirdness scale.
The
chart.
I forgot my chart.
There's an awful lot of charts today. I respect what you're trying to do. I do. And thank you. But I have to, whatever it is, I have to keep it. You know that.
Yes, no, I do, but remember our talk we had in the mountains? I want to make sure it's still you in there.
Still me.
Okay.
If anything, I think I'm starting to feel more like me and less like just another novitiate.
Regulus? Do you aspire to be someone like him?
Can I say something I've never told anyone?
Absolutely.
I don't want to be like them. I just want my father to notice that I exist. He's said one thing to me my entire life. He walked past me while I was 13 years old, training in the yard with Kasaki. He looked at me, grabbed me by the scruff of the neck, and said in that way of his, "You lower your shield when you strike," and pushed me to the ground and walked away. Everyone tells me how blessed I am to have Alaric, champion of the dawn, the mountain among pebbles and boulders, as a father. Truthfully, I don't even think I have a father. The Bear King's been more of a father. Leighton's more of a father.
Oh, yeah. That dickhead's definitely not your dad. And you shouldn't care what he thinks.
I shouldn't, but I do. Because I'm worried he's right. Not...
That you lower your shield when you attack.
Oh no, I know I don't do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
No, what he meant by it, that I don't know what I'm doing, that I'm weak, that I can't do any of this, and that I'll never be...
And I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I jumped off a boat in the middle of the ocean without my axe.
And you didn't drown.
Cool. Well, good chat.
What aren't you telling me?
That's the thing. Look, I've got to prepare. You know, we've got to channel.
No, I'm the one who has to prepare.
Just.
I love the Order.
You've seen
fight with a sword.
How she and I behave around superior officers. Just do that.
Sure, easy.
You will have to say remarkably little, I imagine.
Easy.
You very much like the sound of your own voice.
Yeah. I mean, I've dealt with many people like that.
There's actually a joke I know about him. I don't feel like repeating it now, though, so ask Captain Sarchin when you see her.
Okay. Weird. Alright.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. That's fine. I like it. It's good. It's good. So, it's about 3 hours until the dawn. You can have enough time to have a short rest.
Can I do
I
that?
definitely need that.
You can have a short rest.
Do you want to get a long rest?
Fuck!
Keep going.
Now that the boat has stopped swaying, You are more of you go into a meditative stance. You don't sleep per se. So yes, you can get a long rest. Vincent and Odie sleep through the night. They both are proficient in survival.
They're fine.
Vincent again briefly disturbs you about an hour after everybody is settled. You can see these two are sort of catching what little sleep they can, and he sort of again pushes your shoulder just to get your attention softly.
Yes, friend.
He does this, finger over his lips, and just points towards the tree line. And your attention just sort of goes, and you can see a large mass of movement about 10 feet into the tree line. A very similar large reptilian form with 5 heads
Oh no.
and long serpent-like legs just seems to slowly be sort of not at you, just on a tree line about 50 feet from where you are. It sort of stops. You can see its heads all independently and sort of, and every now and then one will sort of catch the other and sort of snap at each other as the others are ignoring them and sort of looking around. There's a moment where you think one of them just sort of almost seems to sort of looking in your direction, but then the body seems to move forward slightly. As you can see its head just sort of being dragged along, and it moves off, moving across the tree line. Over the next 5 minutes disappears, slowly, and back into the tree line. Vincent sort of gives you a look.
Good spot.
Thank you. Yes.
I think I'm going to prepare something with fire. That seemed to be good.
Not a
yesterday.
bad move, yeah. Well, I'll let you know if I see another one, yeah?
Yes.
Righto.
Good spot, Vincent. Are you alright?
Yeah, chin chin.
Yes.
It's like eyes are glued on the tree line right now. As you go to sleep.
This is exciting.
About 10 minutes before everybody wakes, Bruca, you are interrupted once again. Your trance, you're sort of softly coming out of your trance. Your passive perception.
I just got one eye.
Your eyes
Yes.
flick open and sort of dart in the same direction. And what brief moment you see Vincent also appears to be looking in the same direction as you both look towards Theren. As Theren seems to have been jolted out of his seat. I imagine you probably just sort of like sword out and whatever.
God's sake.
Theren, in your mind, words very loudly form carefully. Theren, this is Carmian. I found a lead. Where are you? I know you've left Gibret.
What?
We need to go to the next seal. Where are you? Why did you...
Yes!
Theren looks at the party and just goes, Carmian, we're at Jindali's Rest. Problems with the order. We will get back as soon as we can. Right. Bye. Oh wait, no, I have 5 more.
Fantastic. Are you sort of looking up the message?
Yes. Just Carmian has another job for us.
Right.
And I look at Aubrey for a second.
Oh.
And then just carry on like I've not done anything.
Fine.
Who's coming?
Oh, we had a rather dull.
Do you mean on Zelidia? I know the place. As these words ring into your mind again. This is urgent. Is it to do with blue? If so, I understand. The time is of the essence.
Yes, Zelidia. We will return as quickly as we can. I need you to be patient. Also, what are the details?
Aubrey says hi.
Aubrey also says hello.
How are you gonna do it?
Nothing comes back for a few seconds.
Right, just clarifying what I said. Yes, we went to Mount Arnhem on a simple escort
Mission.
thing. Yes,
Is this where your friend got?
Yes.
Ah.
yes.
Yeah.
This is where he was unfortunately petrified.
What did he say?
Oh, just that he has another job for us.
Oh, cool.
Are you expecting more messages?
I don't know. Probably not.
No.
It's been long enough now.
Wait,
Right.
Vincent, with his keen eyes, his keen human eyes, spotted another one of those creatures just on behind the
Okay.
trees,
Well done.
wandered up and down.
Thank you. Yes.
So I'm going to prepare something burny, which I wasn't going to do, but I will now.
That would be a good idea. I'll do this.
Understood.
Fuck.
Yep, you're
Good
halfway
luck
through having a piss on
With
the
your
side of the
mission. Urgency is suggested. Instead of returning to Yibrit, go straight to Mount Arnan and let me know.
Understood. Carmian, how are we supposed to let you know no one here can do this spell? We will try and get Captain Sarcher to agree. He wants us to go straight to Mount Arnan when we're finished.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot to mention something.
I'm sure he might come back with something.
Yes, I
Yeah.
just feel we should probably point out that
Captain Sarcher will agree. Do not worry. Do what you need to do. Find a way to talk. Tell Aubrey to stop wasting magical...
What do you say?
we are with Master Bruker, the alchemist. Do you want us to bring him, or would you prefer that the job remains more secretive than that? He tells you to stop wasting magical
I
words
haven't-
by saying hello and things.
But why?
I wanted to pass on your best wishes as well.
Thank you. It's nice to hear from him.
Just wanted to know if they want us to go straight there without stopping in the Brit. So
yes.
yes, the last time he was very keen that not that many people get involved. I just wanted to.
Would he use another spell
Fine.
slot today? Because he's on the edge of like...
being angry.
Theren!
Fine, whatever. Bring who you want as long as you trust them. I don't care.
Lol.
Just send word when you arrive.
Cool. What we do?
All right,
Love
Oh,
you.
we'll send a message to you when we can. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. Problems with the order might take a little while.
Kiss.
X0, X0.
Bye.
X0, X0.
Fantastic.
I really don't like counting how many words I say.
It's hard. Have you ever tried haiku?
A what?
I'll tell you later.
Do you have any? They're great.
What is it, food? I could eat if it's food.
I think we should get ready.
Let's get ready.
Maybe you can tell us about your haikus.
Right, let's keep an eye out for the boat and... just...
Odie sort of pipes up. I'm so sorry, we were interrupted. What do you mean, more creatures? What, they're skulking around?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good point. we send our party into the bush, we might get attacked. Stop laughing, Brooker.
Sorry, I choked on a good berry.
Is there any sort
Does
of...
anyone want a good berry?
So we're on a beach right now, aren't
Are
we?
you saying that? And Vincent will go, yeah, I'd love a good berry.
Actually, I wouldn't mind as well.
Hand them out.
Yep, everybody
I cast
gets
a
one.
spell.
Is there any, on this beach that we're on, is there any sort of cover or like rocky outcropping or something
Well, there's
that
the
people
house.
can see
That's
to
the
hide
other thing.
behind?
It's the house.
No, isn't that on a... Haven't we gone to a different island?
You're looking for rocky cover. So what are you, from which direction? You're looking from the sea or from the forest?
I think it's in the
If there's
sea.
something near... Yeah.
Okay. In terms of large rocky substances, no. It's a very flat beach, and it's sort of, if you imagine, there's sort of like the waves in some places actually sort of crash into where the trees are. It is like a sort of mangrove effectively, but the sands get pushed up very softly. There's no boulders as such. No, you'd have to go into the trees to hide from the sea. And to hide from the forest, you could imagine you could probably find a dune that was a little lower and get down, but it's difficult. There's not much. Very flat around here.
Vincent,
Yes.
when you saw this thing pass by, did it look like, and this is going to sound ridiculous, I don't think it's capable of this level of thought, but did it look like a familiar route it was taking, or just aimless wandering?
Searching something.
Ooh, give him a nature check.
Do you want to roll that?
Oh, sure.
Nice.
Nature.
17.
Nice.
17.
Such a skill.
Rogues.
I'm not sure if it was taking a familiar route, but beasts often follow instinct, and instinct often takes them down similar paths. I don't know if it's deliberate, but potentially. It looked like it was hunting. Certainly seemed to be trying to sniff something out, Bruker. Did you see that as well?
Yes. I wonder if it was sent out by Blackstar to look for us.
Or tracking, and I point to like possibly the rotting head.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That would be.
Sadly, there's nothing much we can do about that.
We've got his brother's noggin.
I think it's more important that we hide from the Order than the Hydras, and if one does attack,
We can
all of you can just run
Run
towards
towards,
us,
yeah.
and, well, questions will have to wait until later.
Exactly.
Yes. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Right.
Okay.
Alright, everyone. Positions. I imagine we don't have that much time left, so maybe it would be an idea for you to...
I mean, we don't have to do it. It was just an idea.
I think it's... If Kasaki isn't here,
Mm-hmm.
you'll ask questions.
It only lasts an hour.
Hour is all we need.
Then I will...
I'll just go get lost.
When you feel the spell starting to ebb away, can you... I will give
Good
Kasaki...
luck with that.
Or when you can let me know somehow. Come up with some signal.
You have 2 minutes.
I will send Kasaki away.
Okay. Aubrey will appear.
Yes.
Okay.
There is a chance that the Inquisitor you were left on the ship with. I didn't see what happened, but I saw lightning.
Yeah.
There's a chance that he will probably be here as well.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
I need you to stay calm
I am calm.
while he is there.
I will be calm.
Thank you. I know. You've got this. You'll be fine.
I've got this.
Right, everyone, we all know what we're doing. Good luck.
Okay.
Bring it.
Fantastic. So, about 10 minutes after the end of the conversation, there's movement on the Justice. And you can see a slightly larger than before white rowing boat is lowered into the water, again with that same sort of golden gilding around the edges. Individuals get into it. From this distance, you notice the shock of red hair of High Inquisitor Vulcan, but as to who he's got with him, you're not sure. But
Sorry, I've just twigged something that you said earlier, a glint of light when they were looking. They had the spyglass. During the night, there was a glint of light I saw on the ship, I think they were looking at us briefly. How long was the glint of light? Was it just like a glint, or was there a delay?
You notice the sort of shining. It's difficult. Like you don't know how long it was going on for. It caught your attention.
So there's an off chance they may have seen us, but let's continue.
It's too late.
Too late.
We've
Too
already
late
done
now.
it.
Very good.
I
I love it. I
One
love it.
last thing.
See,
So-
how long did that take for it to click in the back of my head? It's a really
I like
long
that.
day.
People do that. You don't tweak things until like all the pieces fall into place. So
Wait, no.
So
Devil.
the rowing boat takes about 10 minutes to make its way across. You can see just sort of getting pushed around a little bit by the waves, but eventually it is beached and dragged by 3 or 4 members of the service. You can see sort of lesser ranking members of the order who are equipped with swords and have sort of leather tunics and armour, but have to drag the boat on. You can see High Inquisitor Vulcan in his gleaming armour with the large shoulder plates and the huge great sword sort of on his chest, sort of makes his way onto the beach. There's a moment of slight comic timing as when he first hits the beach, the weight of his armour is enough to sort of just like his foot goes down like a little bit more than it should, and he has to sort of rip it up. Bloody beach.
Theren
Makes his way on.
closes his fist around his heart. On his head.
Out of the boat as well come
I'm doing
2 other full-plated figures. You recognise Inquisitor Decima. Previously, she was
She
a
had a crossbow, didn't she?
She did have a crossbow, yes, a very fancy-looking crossbow.
Yeah.
That looks like it's sort of built in a way that could fire multiple times, effectively. It's very nicely put together. And you see Inquisitor Regulus.
Sweet.
The reason you see Inquisitor Regulus
I'm
is
ready.
because across his back
Bastard.
is a very large and fine-looking mithril great
It's almost as if you read my mind.
gleaming in the morning light as he makes his way. The 3 of them make their way over to you, Theren. Now, at this point...
Boop.
Okay, so before he arrived, I imagine maybe sort of 10 minutes before?
Yeah, I assume just a...
Okay, the polymorph takes effect. I'm assuming you're not going to resist it?
No.
Good. Aubrey becomes Kasaki. Now, for the purposes of this,
Yeah.
take on the stats of Kasaki.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
You don't have her skills.
No.
You are not a trained fighter. You are still you.
I'm still
But
Aubrey.
whilst you are in the form, you can't use any of your abilities, but rely on being you,
Yeah,
effectively.
that's
You
fine.
are effectively a human,
Human.
with those stats.
Perfect.
And Kasaki's health. So
So, one thing would have happened as soon as Aubrey turned to Kazaki. Theren would have just looked and gone, I'm feeling some very conflicting emotions.
I better keep them inside.
That is the plan.
does polymorph change voice?
I don't think it does.
Or is it just appearance?
I think it's just a
Just have a read of the spell.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Odie and Vincent, are you sending them into the forest?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to go in. They are going to make... and are you casting any other spells at all to help them, or are they just going in?
This requires concentration.
Very good. So, Vincent and Odie, could you roll for me, please? Oh,
I don't have OD
Odie.
sheets. Yeah.
Okay, Odie, she's got +4, +50. She's got +7 on the roll.
Okay, 14.
14 for Odie.
I
That happens so
swear to
often.
God.
That's much better.
16 plus 10. Jesus, 26.
He just enfolds into his hat.
Odie
Goes
is
on the breeze
14.
into the forest.
I will do the same.
Okay, and you're hiding as well.
Oh, for Jesus.
I am a tree.
7, 12.
And where are you going?
Into the trees?
Yeah?
I guess so we've kind of got some line of sight, but like can we be a couple of trees back? So a couple of row of trees back into the
Fine,
forest.
wonderful.
And at the same time, I would whisper, one of us should probably keep an eye out the other way.
Vincent and Odie just go
Come
and start looking the other way. So, Vulcan makes his way across the beach.
Sure he does.
Fantastic. Glad to see the two of you here, reporting for duty. Novitiates. Sort of like puts his hand like this. So, are we ready to venture onto the island?
I have a report first, sir.
Yes? What would
We-
that be?
we
Again,
have-
the sword already sort of in its familiar place with its sort of ridiculous T-pose. He sort of puts his head almost on the sword, sort of sinking into the sand a little bit, so he has to like kind of not do it too much and pulls it out a bit. But
We have discovered the fate of the scouting party.
what?
I
How?
jumped at the Hydra head with the order symbol kind of like stuck between the teeth but coming out of the mouth bit.
Wonderful.
Super.
Claudia makes her way over. It's Claudia, so Decima.
I think
Decima,
she was
sorry,
called Claudia in the last episode. I think
It's one of the two.
It's one of the
I
two.
can't remember who we said. We
I think-
just
I think it's
say with the
Claudia.
crossbow. I looked at my previous notes.
I
Hang on.
thought it was Claudia.
I thought it was Decima.
You see,
Claudia
Oh,
Decima.
no, I think that might be an English Decimus. I
it
don't
was
know.
Claudia. It was Claudia.
How about-
Sorry, I've written it on my right. I have a
Oh,
list.
she's-
God
I have a
damn it,
list of
Ryan.
them
I'm
all.
trying to look up polymorph. If a player were to say polymorph into a gopher, could he speak to other gophers? That's not what I'm trying to
Such a complicated spell.
Technically,
So-
technically, that would sort of answer the question, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit character.
So, Claudia makes her way over and sort of picks up the head and sort of inspects it. Where did you find this?
In the forest, it will take about 2 hours to get there. As you can imagine, we killed it. I'm afraid we found no other bodies.
So, you believe that the patrol was ambushed by a monster rather than this criminal network? You can see Vulcan is sort of his attention, his brow very much sort of unhappy. He's sort of thinking.
While waiting here, we have seen other Hydra passing by. It could be that there was not just the one.
There are more of these beasts.
There are definitely more of them in there.
And this complicates matters. Our investigation as to this criminal network is going to be hampered by wandering beasts. Perhaps we should take extra care. Yes, we'll have to create a military escort, make sure we've got patrols, perceptions, make sure we can see everything that's going on. Yes, this is fine. Right, well, all the more reason to go in and find this, whatever this Hydra is.
Sorry.
That was my stomach.
That was his stomach. It's just him falling into the sea slightly.
I think if you would permit me, it would not be right for one of your rank to risk yourself needlessly. Kasaki and I can take care of this. I think we would be alright if you wish to await our report.
Why would somebody of my rank not want to attempt such a mission? I am the strongest here by far. A Hydra would be nothing compared to my ability and my faithful Perith. It would fall before my blade.
Of course, it is your decision.
Yes. So did you remember that, novitiate? Right. Everybody ready to move out? Inquisitors? You can see Regulus and Claudia just sort of nod. Excellent. We make our way.
What is the plan, sir?
We march into Zelidia, find whatever tracks we can of this criminal network, hopefully find this criminal network and kill them.
And then what?
Well, when the corruption has been ripped out of the island, we can return. Whatever deal, whatever supply they have of evil, illicit artifacts, arcanite, needs to be stopped. And we will kill anybody that deals in such matters.
Should Novitiate Kasaki and I scout ahead?
I don't suppose it's a bad idea. Yes, well, if we advance, you scout out ahead, report back every half. Understood?
Understood. Will you be waiting here then?
No, we'll be walking forward. You simply walk faster than us and report back as to what you see. My order's not clear, Novitiate.
Forgive me, it's been a long night. I've not
Sam.
had much sleep. You alright?
No, I'm just loving this.
Wonderful. We move out, and he sort of pulls the sword back onto his sheath set, and the three of them start walking forward. Novitiate Kisaki, Novitiate Theren, scout ahead. Report to us. Alternately, every half. Report back what you find.
Understood. And Theren kind of nods and starts walking
I trudge after.
and whispers to Aubrey, "What do we do now?"
I'm thinking.
Yes, so am I.
So, the two of them make their way in. Bruca, Vincent and Odie, you see them all start to walk towards the tree line, and Vincent just sort of pulls you backwards because you're too busy focused, and they get rather close before you move, but you sort of shoot
Looks
forward
like it's plan B.
into the undergrowth as the party makes their way into the trees. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back to this in a second.
Yes! This is awesome!
And we shall see how this resolves itself. I like it. See you in a sec. And welcome back to what should be an interesting second half. So, you watch as High Inquisitor Vulcan, Inquisitor Regulus, and Inquisitor Claudia make their way in triangle military formation. You can see Claudia with her large crossbow contraption sort of like cocked and ready to go. You've got Regulus with the great axe held in both his hands. You can see various other weapons and shields mounted on his person. And you can see High Inquisitor Vulcan, who doesn't appear to have drawn his weapon, but just sort of marches as chest puffed as he can in the armour, just as Theren and Aubrey slash Kisaki.
Hello.
You make your way
Ahead.
forwards and ahead.
Right, as soon as we're out of earshot, Theren quietly says to Aubrey, "I have an idea.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm saying this, I'm not thinking about it, maybe that's just for the best. Right, here's what we do. We go back to them 10-15 minutes from now, say we found 2 trails. One, these criminals, and the second, we say we have found your trail.
Excellent. That sounds excellent. Yes.
If this Regulus
Yes.
wants you dead,
Yes.
maybe he will splinter off. I can leave again. The 2 of us will leave again and say that we'll continue to scout. Maybe his pride will mean that he has to go after you. We loop round. Maybe Bruca, Vincent and Odie will follow us when they see where we're going. We loop round. The 5 of us do what we have to do.
What are you doing?
You just want to hear.
Stop, there's a
You
game.
just want to hear.
Fair enough.
I think that's a great idea. The only small thing is that we might have an extra person following us. The Black Star.
If he sees us attack a member of the Order, then that's the order.
No, I know, but I assume he's following now. I'm probably hearing every single word we're saying.
Then he knows we're about to attack a member of the Order.
I know. Just making sure we said it out to the forest and that you said it.
Yes.
Great. So do you want me to go ahead? I can do Stompy Stompy.
Let's keep going for 10 more minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll both go back.
Okay. Let's do it.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
You know something.
I didn't hear any of that. It's great.
you make your way for 10-15 minutes. Aubrey, your polymorph is about half done by now
I'm away.
as you're making way.
10 minutes, turn around, go back.
Okay. Brucart, Vincent and Odie, you guys are all making your way sort of forward, trying to keep out of sight as you can watch the 2 of them going ahead. What do? Are you meeting up with Theren and Aubrey? Are you staying? What would you do?
Are Theren and Aubrey visibly out of visible range of VCR?
After about 5 minutes, yes, they get quite far ahead of the Inquisitors.
Okay.
But they're not being quiet. They're leaving a trail.
Okay, so shall we go parallel to them and see if we can, whisper over to them without letting the metal bucket heads spot us?
Yes, quite, yes.
Stealth up.
So about sort of 10 minutes, the three of them, you see the sort of the movement in the trees on either side of you as the three of them appear.
Theren, Aubrey, what is the plan? Sorry, it was a bug.
We're going to isolate one of the Inquisitors that has a grudge against Aubrey. We're going to neutralise him. I'd rather he not be killed, but if we can incapacitate...
Yep.
Feed him to Hydras.
I don't know, but
No.
I don't know what I'm doing here, but I think this is
Okay.
our best bet. If we can isolate them, that's only two of them left. That means that Vulcan will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
He is going to be the biggest threat here.
So us three to follow.
Follow us, but maintain your distance as soon as you see the fighting begin.
Which party should we go with? Regulus?
Yes, regular. We will.
If he goes off.
Yes.
Okay.
If not, just keep following us.
Okay.
If Regulus does separate, follow him at distance. Aubrey and I will link round when we're further enough away, and then we'll do it.
Okay. I will drop polymorph on you once you're out of.
I want him to see me.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay, we have to go back now. Time
Yeah.
for the essence.
Are you going back?
I assume we have to go back together.
Okay.
For now. Yeah.
Back into the shadows.
Orders were to go back one at a time, but I think if we both go together because it's important news, it will seem more credible.
I agreed.
Alright, so the three of you melt away into the shadows as, after sort of 15 minutes, the two of you head back.
Yeah.
You quickly bump into the three of them, sort of moving in the same direction. You sort of High Inquisitor sort of like nods. Report.
Theren makes a point of seeming out of breath. So we found two trails. One, Kasaki and I believe to be linked to the criminals. The other one linked to the ally of mine that turned traitor and attacked Inquisitor Regulus on the Falling Star.
Make a performance check.
Oh, come on, David.
Shit!
9.
No.
Oh.
High Inquisitor Vulcan sort of nods. Understood. Well, at least we've got our first solid lead on the criminals. You can see Inquisitor Regular sort of his head sort of cocks. You're mistaken, Theren. She is dead. I saw to it by my own hands.
I do not wish to question you, sir.
Then don't.
I'm simply aware of what I saw. I've been travelling with this woman for a long time. I know what to look for.
Then you are mistaken.
She is alive.
She is dead. Enough! High Inquisitor Vulcan says, I don't care. Found leads of criminals, we set off after them. Report back in half. You have your orders.
Theren points in a direction much deeper into the forest. The trail leads that way. Adjust your heading accordingly.
Understood. Well, on with you.
You should come across the clearing where we fought the Hydra. It's about 2 hours from now. I'll wait you there and I'll send Kasaki further on to scout out. Where we fought the Hydra was about 2 hours away, right? Yeah.
Yeah, about that, yeah. Okay.
We're going to be going half an hour.
Understood, but report back every half, please.
I will do.
Affirmative. Off you go.
Head off.
Church.
So you get sort of like 5-10 minutes
Nice
before you
idea.
get out of eardrop.
Sorry you didn't believe me.
It's fine. I'll just have to get him at some point.
Polymorph's probably got about 20 minutes in it now.
Yeah, and more.
I'll report back to them every half hour, but we do it in the clearing.
The Hydra clearing.
Yes.
Fight them there.
Yes. It's far enough inland.
If you're sure.
I'm not. But, as you rightly said, this is our family. And if this is our family, then Blue is my brother, and I owe everything to bring him back. I will not let them stop that.
So clap him on the shoulder as much as and I'm like,
Yeah.
yep, that's.
No, she's got strength. Kasaki's
Okay.
a much slighter build, but
Yeah.
she's got some
Oh yeah, she has. Yeah, that's the Theren I know. Let's go.
You make your way further into the forest. 5, 10, 15 minutes. Although you've got about 5 minutes left on your
I'll
polymorph.
go on ahead.
Alright.
If
Rush ahead.
before they separate,
Yep.
then goes, if possible, find the others. I'm sure they'll find you as soon as we separate. Stay with them. Please stay close. I have a feeling that this will get very dicey very quickly for me. I'll do what I can to hold them, but I'm going to need you.
Oh, don't worry. I want to prove that asshole wrong. I clearly am alive. Shout to no one.
Good luck.
Thank you. You too. It's split.
So,
Bruca.
Odie and Vincent, you see the two of them double back on themselves, and you sort of wait where you are for 5 minutes or so. Vincent sort of says, should we wait from here or should we keep going ahead? What should we do?
Well, Aubrey has headed on further. Maybe we should follow her because Regulus is going after her.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, great.
That's Shadow.
Wonderful. So Aubrey, you keep making your way forwards, and if you're telling me you're going to do anything different.
No,
Until the polymorph, you feel it wear off. Your form returns. Bruca, you would notice that as well. Your spell, just like the last couple minutes of it, you could feel it unraveling. You're trying to hold it for as long as you can, but eventually it dispels off.
Okay.
And you make your way forward. Travel for you travel all the way to the Hydra.
That's where we said we were going to meet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Make a survival check for me.
Me too?
Yeah, both.
8.
Imagine you're meeting back up and sort of moving together.
20.
20. Okay. So spooky. You're capable enough to make your way forward and find back the track. Aubrey, you've almost lost track of where you are and all the excitement, but Bruca eventually sort of scoops you up with Vincent and Odie and make your way forward. Theren, your journey is a little bit more stop-start. You every sort of 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, you sort of go forward and then double back to report in.
Yeah.
Can I quickly cast Locate Object and try and see where the sword that I saw Black Star use is?
What?
Okay. Tell me what Locate Object does.
Meet up. So describe or name an object that's familiar with you. With that, would I be familiar? I've seen it.
I would say, because it was so blatantly used in the threatening procedure, yes, you would.
And you sense the direction of the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement.
Okay.
Whew.
You try and visualize the weapon as best you can from your memory of it. You're not familiar with the object, but you saw enough of it. And there's a moment where you're thinking, I don't think this is what, and then you just get a soft ping in your head. The sword is about 300 feet left of you. And
300.
moving in a very similar direction to you. Parallel. How long does it last for?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Concentration.
Nice.
Okay, so for the 10 minutes of concentration, the sword follows you, maintaining about 300 feet distance. Make a perception check.
That's 17.
How are you not able to roll in a I just...
That was incredible.
You don't see anything.
Yes, you are, dear.
There's nothing that you can see in that direction. No movement. Every time you sort of look, occasionally, if you sort of look a bit too hard, it'll stop. It'll maybe go a little further away, and then eventually it'll catch back up to its original sort of that. It keeps about 300 feet away. But then the spell just sort of fades, and that trace of the object moves away.
Okay.
After about 2 hours of movement, you find yourself back at the enclosure with the Hydra corpse. Now riddled with flies and smells, and the corpse is utterly stinking and rotting. It's the natural moisture of the air and the forest and the bugs have accelerated whatever process of biodegrading, reclaiming this body back to the earth. It's been sped up quite drastically, and the stench is quite something. What would you like to do when you're there?
Black Star is following us.
As we suspected.
Should we call out to him, see if we could tell him maybe we are allies? Or do you think he would join in as his own accord?
I think he's seen what he's already seen what's going on. He'll have to make his own judgments. I don't think any of us can persuade him
We
otherwise.
can't take sides at this point,
We
it's
can't.
too far.
We've got to keep with the plan.
Okay, keep your eyes out.
What if he picks us off, and this is Odie speaking, what if he picks us off one by one, and it's us, it's me first?
He was coming, I know the general direction.
At some point on the
Yeah,
trip,
he
yeah, but
would've-
you
he
lost that
could've-
third. You know he was following you, but now you're at the Hydra enclosure, you don't know.
I can pick you up, like before. It was awful, but
I
see,
would rather not get killed. Like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate that, but I would rather not just be killed only to be picked up again. That's not a good plan.
his eyes will be on the men in armor.
Yes.
He is following us, but soon the others will be here.
His priority is getting rid of the Order.
We can hide in the shadows now. I have magic that will make us very hard to spot, even by hiding.
Really?
Yes. Should we do that now? Hide?
Yes.
You're the bait, though.
I'll just stay in the clearing.
Okay. Are you sure? We will be watching from the shadows.
That's not as comforting as you think.
Okay. Right. Come on, guys. Pass without a trace, and we'll hide in the forest.
Okay, you cast Pass Without a Trace. So that gives plus 10 to stealth.
Yeah.
As you watch Bruca again, the smoke from the pipe seemingly sort of drifts out onto the ground. You see the leaves and the roots almost beginning to warp around the footsteps of everybody. The shadows being encased in like a smoky visage that hides everything. Noises. Every time something is stepped, the smoke will sort of wrap around a foot or a branch and sort of stop it from breaking as much as it can, or muffle the sound. There's just this creeping smoke that follows you as you go. And eventually you make your way into the enclosure, and the enclosure mostly caused by the wreckage of the fight. The trees don't stop, there's no natural opening per se, but with the fight of the Hydra, sort of an area of about 30-40 feet around it has been cleared, where the Hydra was snapping and flailing about and the fighting was majorly taking place. So there is some space around the corpse. Can you all make stealth checks for me, please? New ones with a plus 10.
For us three,
Yeah.
I'm going to do Vinny.
Yeah, sure.
So that is large. 28 for Bruca.
15 for Vincent. Oh, plus 5 as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
So 10.
10.
To pass without a trace.
Oh, 25 for Vincent.
25. For Vincent.
I don't know what Odie's plus would be, but it'll be
It
21.
would be plus 7.
Okay, so 28.
28.
She's
Aubrey?
not with it. Well, I thought you hadn't passed.
You can be if you want.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, so you're just stood in the clearing.
Before we do that, does it look like there's been any other tracks in the Hydra?
Make a survival check.
That's what I want to check first.
You can start your thunder.
Okay. 16 survival.
16. You... Let's have a look. So this is...
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
Because of the ground being so slushy,
Yeah.
it's difficult to tell.
Yeah.
Most of the tracks seem to have been obscured in the fight and the carnage
what I
of it.
thought,
You can
yeah.
see where people have been fighting. You do unfortunately find smearings of where Odie's blood was spilled quite heavily. But you don't find any tracks per se.
Cool. Just wanted to check. And you said, sorry, the clearing is just more where the creature was fighting and stuff, so how big would you say it would be? Like
It's about 30 feet in diameter, so 15 feet radius. It's not too big.
It's not too big, yeah.
It's about as much as a hydra flailing around would clear.
Fine. I want to stand, so where we came in, I want to stand on the edge of the clearing on the other side, like facing towards.
Smart.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're just being quite open and obvious.
Yes. As Aubrey is.
Wonderful. Theren, you're making your way.
Yeah.
You think you're still probably about half an hour from the place when on maybe your third check-in, Vulcan starts the party. Novitiate.
Yes.
We haven't heard from Novitiate Kasaki in some time. Do you think she's safe? Has she been reported in with you?
Yes, sir. I came across her while we were both scouting. She's further ahead.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh.
No, a deception check.
Yeah.
Boom!
Oh, there we go! There we go!
That 23.
23. So he nods. I understand. These are intriguing friends that you find yourself amongst.
Who do you mean, sir?
That crew on the Falling Star. Very strange bunch. Normally novitiates, they serve their time with hard labour, with useful work. You seem to be sailing around on a whim. What is your purpose? What are you trying to achieve?
It occurred to me that I would better be able to serve the Order if I were to spend my time honing my skills of fighting, to be able to return with a sizable donation of my own and prove my value as an Inquisitor. I'm also aware that many Inquisitors choose to carry a retinue with them. Others, some not of the Order. I thought that it would be a intelligent leadership test were I to keep together such a ragtag group. It would prove that I may make a good leader one day if Perith and the Council of High Inquisitors grants me such a blessing.
Indeed. These are very lofty ambitions for one with so mediocre ability.
Perith teaches us that we should all strive to be our best selves so we can serve her, sir.
Indeed. Well, just remember that not everybody achieves the heights that some members of the Order achieve. You can see him sort of swish his hair slightly when he does that.
I fully expect that I will not achieve such dizzying heights.
Good.
However,
Ambition can often make the reality of your life seem unbearable when the inevitable failure hits.
my life is to serve Perith in whatever way she wishes, and whatever way the Council of High Inquisitors wishes.
Indeed. Well, off with it.
One final thing, sir.
Yes?
There is a clearing roughly half an hour ahead. I shall meet you there for our next check-in.
Understood.
There you will find the body of the Hydra.
Very good. Onwards.
For the greater good. He turns. Heads the way.
Fair enough.
He's going to try and get there, I'd say,
Double speed.
much quicker than them, so I want to be there for about
Make an
15
athletics
minutes or
check.
so.
Oh.
13.
13. Okay. You sort of double time effectively.
Yeah.
Sprinting. It takes something out of you. You're very tired by the time you get there, but you huffing and puffing, and eventually you sort of burst into the clearing to find Aubrey just sort of stood on the other side watching.
Superhero pose.
You're in the open.
Yes.
Right. But you are in the open.
Yes. Oh, we knew this was going to happen.
Yes, right,
The
okay.
ultimate showdown. It'll be fine. If you want, you can... They're hiding in the trees. You can go with them. So it doesn't look like you've just led them straight to danger.
No, maybe it looks better that I've come across you and we're in the middle of a fight.
Okay.
That would give us both a reason to have our
How would
weapons
you
out.
propose? I'm very aware of this. How would you propose it looks? You winning? Me winning?
I don't know.
Me. Oh.
I don't know.
Look at that face.
But it gives me a chance to
Okay.
cast what spells I can.
For what? Sorry. What spells?
The thing I can do where Parath protects me.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Full
How long
saving.
do you think we've got?
How long do I think we've got?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yep. Crack my knuckles.
Okay.
Do you want to bruise the other side of your face? Oh no, don't.
No. No, if we weaken ourselves in any way, we could be killed.
Okay.
We need to be at our top form.
Okay.
Just look like we're fighting. Theren draws back claw, takes the shield, looks at the symbol of the order he's kind of painted on it. You know this means that they'll probably come for me if we survive this. They'll come for me and they'll try and kill me. They've done much less to novitiates that have simply deserted.
Oh, you have to get through me first.
You would also be an enemy of theirs. They wouldn't stop.
I was trying to be. That was a nice gesture. Yes, I know they're going to come for me, but to get to you, they have to go through me.
I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
Right.
Right.
I want to wait until I can hear them coming,
Okay.
and then I want to immediately do something.
Right. Make a perception check.
Natural 1. I'm freaking out.
Natural 1. Okay. Aubrey, make a perception check as well. Because you
Yeah.
imagine you're also quite invested in this.
Yes, it's perception. Sorry. It's only a 13.
It's better than 1.
Bruca, Vincent, and Odie, the three of you have managed to sort of effectively climb up into trees, sort of about 50 feet around, and you're sort of around and
What-
waiting.
What a
You have the
show.
time to sort of go in, and you're all sort of very quietly hanging. You can sort of just see down to Aubrey and Vincent through the foliage. You can see them, but they're muffled and sort of partially cloaked, which in turn means that you've got some secrecy as well too.
For an hour.
Good, that's fine.
What is your perception check?
13.
That's more than enough.
Whew.
Theren seems lost in another world. Like he's just sort of going through things in her mind. You can see him just reciting and then like planning and planning and
I'm
planning.
freaking out.
You notice the sounds because they are not the sounds you are particularly expecting. You hear the plate metal, plate armor coming towards you, but it is at sprint speed. It is not the sort of forced march that you remember from the beginning. And there is snarling. As
I think we're going to hold that fort, Theren.
coming into just bursting into the enclosure, you see Vulcan, sort of military sprint speed, sort of rushing in. He sort of clock size with Theren, and sort of action zones, enemies are here. Sort of brings his sword around to take a defensive stance. He sort of like doubles back, sees you, and sort of goes, what the, and turns back as you can see great axe in hand, backing up with a hydra on him, crashing through the trees, is Inquisitor Regular, sort of holding him back, swinging and holding. Claudia sort of bursts into the enclosure, sort of does a barrel roll into the mud. It sort of, as she just slides in, as a second hydra comes after her.
Oh no!
You can see now she's
Oh
bursting
my
in.
God.
I would like you all to roll initiative for me, please.
Oh
Amazing.
no!
Amazing.
Hydra.
And we'll get a map out as well.
A map.
Alrighty then, we have a map. And just to sort of give out, David, if you don't mind pointing as I do things.
Of
So,
course.
at the far end, we have Brucar, who's white, we have Odie in the blue, and we have Vincent in the
Plum.
maroony, plummy. Yeah, exactly. You guys are all in the trees above. Aubrey and Theren. With Theren with a new fantastic mini.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll shave that off at the end, definitely.
Thank
You
you,
are
Hero
currently
Forge.
the other side of the body of the Hydra from before that is lying across. Closer to me, you have two Hydras. One represented by a lovely purple dragon and the other represented by a lovely white dragon. Stood further back in blue is High Inquisitor Vulcan. You can see his great sword sort of picking up and getting ready to swing it. On her back, Inquisitor Claudia, having just slid into the enclosure, and her Inquisitor Regulus in red sort of stood there. So Claudia has the yellow flag and Regulus has the white and black. So, initiative. What does everybody have? Theren.
11.
11 for Theren. Okay, what about Odie?
Odie got an unnatural 20.
Wonderful. And what about Vincent?
17.
17. What about Bruca?
22.
22.
4.
4.
And what about Aubrey?
Unnatural 20.
Nice.
The lady's going on the same initiative.
Wonderful. Bruca, you watching this all happen in front of you are the first to react. You can't. It's difficult to see with exact precision what's happening that far away. They have cover against you, but you can see the Hydras sort of writhing and attacking the members of the Order, the Inquisition, effectively being assaulted by these Hydras. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to hold my action
Okay.
and keep an eye on Aubrey and Theren. If they go to assist, then I'm going to create a flaming sphere. Can I do that, or will I have to hold this flaming sphere?
So if you hold a spell as an action,
dissipate
you
once-
cast the spell and then you use your reaction to cast it later.
Yeah.
So if whatever you're saying doesn't happen, you lose the spell slot.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to hop down.
Okay? Yeah, that will be your movement coming down from the tree. Can you make an athletics check for me as you're doing it in the heat of combat?
Sure thing. Athletics -2, 11.
11? Yeah, easy enough.
Okay.
Pop down to the floor.
And
That's
then-
you've got 5 feet of movement left.
Yeah, and I'm going to move, create, thank you, 5 feet. A flaming sphere, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 60,
55.
55,
60.
60.
Okay,
So I'm gonna
yeah.
put a flaming sphere,
D4?
D4, I'll use this white one.
Yeah,
There.
wonderful.
And then as a bonus action, I do believe I can ram it into something.
Okay.
Let me check I've got the space, but I will do that if I can.
Nice.
And I'll cast it at just second level.
Second level. Fantastic.
No, let's make that third level.
Third level. Mark that slot off. Okay, so bonus action, you slam it into
I can move it
the
30
Hydra.
feet.
So, what have I got to do?
Make a dexterity saving throw. please.
Dexterity saving throw. That is an 18.
That passes, so you'll take half damage, I presume. So 3d6.
Okay.
It's a
You can see the flaming sphere sort of gathers pace and it attacks, it just bumps into the Hydra. As it's going towards its chest, one of the heads just gets in the way and disperses it briefly as the flames get sort of passed between this writhing mass, as one of them already beginning to try and seek out where this new threat is coming from.
That will be 7 points of damage because
You halved it already.
I've already.
Yeah, it
halved
was 14.
Okay, 7 points of damage. And that is fire damage. Okay, wonderful. So, now we go down to Odie and Aubrey.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
Um,
I'm going to let you control
yeah.
Vincent and Odie because I've got enough to think
You've
about.
learned to think about.
Yeah.
How realistically is it possible for Odie to jump into the next tree, so getting closer to Vincent, like to this tree, using all her movement?
So it's about 15 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
She can try.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I'm gonna just try and move closer to
Okay, make an athletics check.
It's a 12. I don't know what it'll be plus because I don't have a sheet.
Odie is +1 strength
Okay,
and
so
has proficiency, so it's 16.
16 then. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have this.
So she will. Yeah, she does make it. She just clings onto the branch, drags herself back up. That's her movement.
I think then she'd hold her action to see what Aubrey and Theren do. Like, hold any. I think she'll just wait to see what they're going to do.
Okay,
no,
she's not going to do anything
she's
now.
not having anything
What would
ranged.
Aubrey do?
What would Aubrey do? I'm going to turn to Theren and go, do we save them or do we let them die?
Let them die.
Okay.
Okay.
You gonna stay there?
I'm going to activate my cloak.
Okay. The cloak bellows out from you. Are you flying or are you just standing still?
I am going to fly. I'm just going to hover and wait, and that's my turn. Not going to do anything.
Okay, perfect. Regulus is going to make 2 attacks against the Hydra as it comes in to him. So the first attack will be a 14 to hit, misses. He sort of swings. No, 15 because it's a +1 weapon. He hits. He is going to. He's going to Divine Smite, so that is going to be. Where are my d8s? 1, 2. He's just going to do it at first level. It's a d12, isn't it, for the axe?
D12. Have fun.
So that is 4, 15, 16, 20 slashing and radiant damage as he just takes off, and you can see just completely cuts off one of the heads of this Hydra. You can see the flames from your attack are burning up the body and stopping it from like regrowing. We established last time that the fire was stopping the regeneration, but it screams and rages, and that is 20 points of damage. She's going to attack a second time. That is not going to hit, however. Okay, so now it goes to the Hydra's turn, who is going to make 4 attacks at Regulus because he's not best pleased.
Not blessed, please.
If it ends its turn where it is now, it'll get burnt again.
Okay, it is going to not try and move out of the way because it can't really. It's got Regulus in front of
In
it.
the way.
So
Pivot a bit.
It's a tree.
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, no, if it can pivot round, it will. Yeah, fair enough. It'll sort of flex its way out of the body. But the heads are lashing out, all 4 of the heads that remain. So there's a natural 1. There is a... What's to hit?
It's kind of within
15, natural 1, and a 19, which does hit because he's not using his shield. So that is a d10. I know. Theren's like, why would you not do that? So it's only 6 points of damage though. Not a very effective turn for the Hydra. Vincent.
I'd say Vincent would come down from the tree. Would that take most of his movement?
Oh, hang on. Sorry, no, it does have 1 more attack because it didn't quite lose the head. No, so that does hit. He's going to take another 10 points of damage. Right, so you can see he's fighting off these heads, and all 5 of them are just biting, and he gets caught in places, and he's just being assaulted. Get him off me! What would you like to do?
I would say Vincent would acrobatically flip down the tree.
Okay, yeah.
Use
Make an
his,
acrobatics check.
I'd say bonus action hide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Alright, acrobatics.
Whoa.
17 plus 7, 24.
24, yeah, easily makes his way down. So he's down.
Yeah.
With a check that high, he's still got about 15 feet of movement left.
Okay, can he get closer to this tree?
Can he?
And still be able to hide, I
You
mean.
tell me.
10, 15, he'd only get there.
You're going to get there. Or you could go there so he's out of the sight of the
You
order.
can try and hide, yeah.
Yeah,
Great,
just do it.
so we're going to do that. Okay, yeah, and he's going to hide.
Okay, make a stealth check.
15.
15. Okay. Vulcan. He is going to just sort of turn over his shoulder. Novicia, get in! Assist the High Inquisitor! And he brings his sword up, and he will... You see like a familiar sort of swirl of divine energy around him, as sort of almost this glowing bubble appears in his sort of general vicinity. As he sort of walks up to Regulus's side, and he is going to take his sword and swing it towards the Hydra. He makes 3 attacks. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3. All 3 hit. He's going to... You know what? He's going to smite 3 times.
Oh!
Because he is pretty pissed off. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got... Hang on, so in terms of slashing damage, it does 8, 11, 14, 16, 21, 21, 2, 36 damage. And then he's going to smite 3 times, so that's 68, I believe.
D8.
No, it's 7,
Nope.
8, 9, 10, 17, 24 extra damage. Okay, so he carves 2 heads straight off this Hydra. And I should clarify as well, because I with my little loose my wording earlier, both Regulus and also Vulcan, as they smite, their swords erupt into burning flames. You can see that just cut and just scorch the area. You can see the heads would begin to regrow, but the burning flames stick on each stump as it screams and backs out. 2 heads have now been cut off. He's done quite a lot of damage that turn. But that is his turn. Theren. You can hear him still saying, insist you're better, insist you're superior.
Theren turns to Aubrey, says, If we stay here, they'll know something's wrong. We get close, and as soon as the Hydra are gone, turn on them.
Got it.
He is going to... movement will get me up to about here, won't it?
Okay, yeah, move.
Yeah, 30 feet.
He's going to move 30 feet up. And he is going to fire an Eldritch Blast at the other Hydra.
Okay, right. Make attacks. Make those attacks.
First one's natural 1.
That's the one. The first blast just ricochets and hits branches on the way and scatters like a sort of being dispersed like a shotgun pellet.
So that's bloody fine. Second one is 26.
26. That does hit.
But only for 3 damage.
3 points of damage.
I don't
As it
like
just
it.
streaks and just streaks off the armor of this creature as it's sort of rushing forward. Doesn't even appear to have noticed. Your movement, your action, anything else you want to do?
That's it.
Okay. Fantastic.
Ugh.
Okie dokie, so the Hydra, this one, the purple one, tramples forward, marches forward, and sort of basically just surrounds Claudia. Its head's beginning to just, as she's rolling in her plate armor, as it just sort of attacks her from all directions. So that is going to be 5 more attacks. Actually, these all have advantage, so
Yep, she's on the ground.
that is 1 hit, 1 miss, 2 hits, 3 hits just, 4 hits. And she's going to take 5, 11, 16, 17, 24, 44 points of damage.
Oh, woof.
Whoa!
She just gets surrounded and is being mauled, just bites and bites. She's like, as it's just surrounding her. Get her off! And in like the last bite, gets her torso, and just with that sickening rip, you can see wounds are being spilt, the blood is pouring out. She looks pretty badly hurt right now. But she, in her turn, is going to get up She is going to disengage. And she is going to move 15 feet sort of towards Theren. Just saying, get him off! Kill it! Kill it now! Novitiate, get in there! And she's going to use her bonus action to cast the same sort of bubble spell. What is it actually called?
Shield of
Faith.
Faith.
Yeah, that's what I was on.
That's it.
Bubble spell.
Shield of Faith. Okay, we go back to the top, Brooker.
Okay, seeing that, presumably hearing Theren say to Aubrey, once the thingies are gone, we'll move in.
Yeah.
Would I have heard?
Well, if you would have whispered it probably.
Yeah,
as well, right?
that's what I said to
Make
him.
him perception
Okay.
check.
Oh, right. Okay. That would be 23.
Yeah, you hear it.
We have no secrets anymore. Brooker knows them all.
Okay, in which case I'm going to move this flamey thing.
Yeah.
One bonus action. 5, 10, 20, 30.
Yep.
And just keep it chilling there.
Okay, so this flaming sphere is sort of being held there.
That's my bonus action. And then as my movement, I'm going to go 1, move here. And I'm going to look this way and hide.
Okay.
So I'm keeping an eye out for our unannounced visitor.
I
Would
see.
that be an action?
Fair enough. No,
I-
make a hide, make a stealth check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's what
can.
you do.
I can either do action.
You've got quite a high
to hide
passive
or-
perception. That's
Okay,
fine.
passive. Okay. Hiding 18.
18. Okay.
I am a tree.
Fantastic. We now go to Odie and Aubrey.
It's not a birch tree.
Can't
You
blend.
can hear all this commotion happening.
I can. Okay, I am going to. Odie's going to jump down from the tree then. So probably follows what sort of Vincent's doing, so go and sort of match on the other side.
Okay.
Basically.
So she can make an acrobatics or athletics check.
I think
It's
acrobatics.
+7 on one of them, yeah, so
That's a 15.
15, yeah, she leaps down 15 feet of movement.
Yeah, and then she'll probably get behind this tree.
Okay, wonderful.
So
That's
that's
her
what she
movement.
can do. Yeah.
Anything with action or bonus
I
action?
don't. She's got no ranged weapons, so I just.
No,
she'll have a
still
sword
like-
out, I think.
She's got Hunter's Mark, she's got Healing Spirit, she's got a couple of bits and pieces.
Yeah. I think she'll just hold it off for now. I guess just waiting to see what we're going to do.
Okay.
So I think that's what she'll
Fair enough. What about Aubrey?
What is Aubrey going to do? I think I am going to go in line with Theren, so still floating. So whoop.
Yep, how far off the ground?
We'll go 10 feet off the ground. And I will chuck a javelin at this one, the purple.
Okay, roll the attack.
I will. I'm not raging.
Attacks.
Yes. So the first one is that's a 13.
13. You throw it and it just sort of goes through the heads that are all moving as you target them. You don't get a direct hit.
Sorry. And then the second attack. That's a 24.
That'll do it.
That'll hit.
So it is a measly 6 piercing damage. I'll knock
6.
those off as well.
Alright. Okay, again, the javelin sticks into the side of the neck of the creature and it's sort of still moving, and after a second or two, the flexing of the movement just sort of pins it out.
Good.
You can see blood going down the neck, but
Yeah,
nothing in the grand scale of the creature.
that's fine. And that's it. That's all I do.
Okay, fantastic. Regulus. Regulus is going to... What would he do? He is going to cast... Actually, that's an action, isn't it? He wouldn't do that.
What would
He's
Regulus
going
do?
to attack twice the Hydra. So he's going to... One hit. He will smite again. So that is with the Great Axe. He's rather enjoying this Great Axe.
Yeah, not going to have it for long.
That is 6, 11, 16, 21 more damage against the Hydra, but it is not enough to sever her head. As he just like carves again into the body of this creature, sort of gets in and does a blow to the torso that reels back. It's like 3 heads still going, the bloody stumps where the 2 were, and I'm sort of positive this Hydra's not doing very well at the moment. That is his turn. The Hydra will attack back. So it will make 3 attacks against... She'll make 2 attacks against regular, so he's looking a bit injured, and then 1 against Vulcan. So, miss. It is flailing around right now. It just can't get any purchase on the 2 of them as it's being driven back by the massive weapons. Every time the bite comes in, either this great sword or the great axe will swing and it will back out of it. It is now Vincent's go.
Vincent is going to creep closer up here and just hide behind a tree.
Yeah, make a stealth check.
Oh, do you want to do it? Last one.
Sure.
It's a D20.
Yeah, there it is.
Nice.
17 plus, is it 10?
Yeah,
27.
27.
Just a
Okie dokie.
It's just
the feather.
Right, Vulcan. Vulcan will, seeing that one is injured and one is not, he's going to keep attacking the injured one. He's going to make 3 more greatsword attacks. That is a D12. I don't know why I'm rolling that.
I don't know where
2 of them hit. He will smite once more rather than twice. So that is 10, 21, 31, 33 more damage.
Oh, Jesus.
That thing must be looking pretty bad at this point.
That could be us.
It's bad. He turns around and with a swing cuts off 2 more of the heads. This thing only has 1 head now. And again, the flames from his sword are just coating this creature and it can't regenerate. It's like backing away and snarling, but it's not doing so well at all. It is down to 1 head.
Wow.
It's really
That's
not doing very
amazing.
well. Theren.
Theren is going to turn to the Inquisitor and say, I fought these before, we focus fire on the injured one, take it out, and then we'll take care of the other one.
She sort of like nods and then brings the crossbow
out. He is going to move here, not use all his movement, stay at range, and fire another 2 Eldritch Blasts at the white one.
Okay, make your attacks.
First one, that is a 14.
14, no, doesn't hit.
That's fine. Natural 1.
No, that's your mind. You're just sort of like,
Wow.
yeah.
He's making it look like he's trying to hit it.
Flying out, but they're sort of going, the head, is only 1 target now. You go for the body, the first Eldritch Blast just ricochets off its natural armour, and the second one just hits the floor, sending dirt and water into the air.
Bonus action, Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay, the bubble comes up.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okie dokie. It now goes to the purple Hydra. That is going to...
It's gonna pass by the fire to get me.
Might not be going for you though.
That's the one.
I know.
This is one
I
of the...
can see the injured body, so it is going to... He's going to move up to Claudia. Like that. Augustus is... Sorry, not Augustus. Vulcan is going to... Augustus is your dad?
No.
He's going to make
Augustus is the one that died.
No, isn't he's actually your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Tony.
Tony.
Right, I was like...
but he misses. He swings wide as the creature just sort of lumbers. He has to sort of back out the way as one of its feet comes right next to him. It will approach and it's going to make... Well, hang on. Let's see how this goes. So the first attack... Oh, God. It hits.
Yes.
Even with the Shield of Faith up. And that is 7 points of damage. That is enough to finish her off. So Claudia just gets bit with sort of the one attack and is lifted and then just savaged to the floor like a rag doll. Is sort of hits a tree, bang, and is lying on the floor bleeding out. You can see Vulcan looking back and she's like, Inquisitor down! Save her! And he's sort of fighting back. It's going to use the rest of its movement to go for the nearest creature to it now, which is now Aubrey.
Hello.
So it'll move up, and it's tall enough to, even when you're flying a few feet off the air, it's going to use the rest of its 4 attacks against you.
Oh, 4 attacks?
Yeah, it's got 4
shoot.
attacks left.
Okay.
So that is a 15.
Misses.
15.
Misses.
24.
Hits.
25.
Can I ask you to roll one of those again? Using lucky.
That is a 16.
Misses.
Misses. So only 1 hits. Mark that luck off.
It's gone.
That is 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
It's a good hit on you.
It does. It does. 7.
In your slightly sleep-addled brain, you sort of get out of the way. You're not quite expecting it to charge forward like that. And you go, oh! And as it goes from being like, we're just watching this encounter to the encounter's family. Right, fine. Claudia is going to...
Encounter has found me.
Okay. Right, back to the top. Bruker.
Action to look for Black Star if he's following.
Make a perception check.
D20.
Nice.
20 plus 7, 27.
27.
He's there! It's on the back of the
Stealth.
hydro.
It's 26.
I knew it when you made that face.
Yes!
That is absolutely incredible.
Yes, Samuel!
You see a movement approaching the battle. You can see from sort of this direction. We'll get a figure for him actually. Have we got someone that looks a bit...
Oh, I might actually have an assassin.
Oh! Do it.
Or the
I'm gonna get
double
Yeah.
stabby.
Double stabby.
double stab attack.
Or there's
I see everything.
I was going to say there's no
Well,
Cluedo
this
character.
That'll
That'll
do.
do. There's no Cluedo character that can
I thought
fill
Black
the
Star is black, but we'll use a white figure, that's fine. So, you can see him sort of approaching behind some trees
that's fine.
here.
As long as it's not coming towards you.
But it's just like a glimpse of him. You sort of spot him from a distance through the trees, and then he sort of is lost, but you know roughly where he is.
Okay. I will use my movement to go 5, 10, 15.
Yeah.
Shout. Vincent, to me! Back! And then I will move as my bonus action. Wham!
Okay.
That one.
Through the fire.
Flames there hits into the
That's it.
creature.
Dexterity beats.
18.
You're right, so you take half of this.
Bam!
And this is 9, so 4.
Cool. Alright, fine. The flames just sort of pulse over the creature. Unless it's taken to... Yeah, fine. And again, the flames are just sort of pummeling it. You guys know how to fight these things now?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing pretty good at that. So now it goes to Odie and Aubrey.
Damn it. What would Odie do? WWOD.
You have the same initiative, so you can go
Yeah.
any order you want.
It's fine. Alright, I'll go Aubrey first then. I am going to... I'm going to disengage.
Okay, you disengage your action. You sort of move out of the way, preemptively sort of moving from Hydra's attacks.
Where would I go? I don't know where to go.
I mean, you can fly. You could just
I
fly
know,
straight up.
I know, but it's not what I'm planning. I'm going to... I can move 60 feet, so if I can get that 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to move half my movement over here.
Yep.
Past
Put
the
anything over to that.
And then I am just going to throw another javelin, 2 javelins at the injured Hydra.
Okay, how far off the ground do you want to be?
So I've used 30 feet of movement. I'm going to go 20 feet off the ground.
20 feet off the ground.
It's not going to make any difference.
Okay, make your attacks.
Okay, so first.
You never know, it might make a difference.
Well, first one is a 17 to hit,
Hits.
and the second attack is a 21 to hit.
Hits, roll your damage.
I will.
How many javelins you got left?
I have 6 left after these 2. But I don't use them, so that is a 9 plus 8, so it's 17 piercing damage.
17 with javelins, nice. Okay, they just thump into this creature. With each hit into its torso, it just sort of... you can see the last one, the legs almost buckle. As the head's again beginning to regenerate, but it's like it's on its last legs now. Regulus. Regulus is going to make an attack against it and miss. A second attack and miss.
Whoa,
It's on his last legs and it can't hit. He is going to instead. What would he do? No, that's all he can do. This time, really.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Odie will. Odie will just stay there. She'll just stay back.
Yeah. He's doing well. He wants to sort of. He looks and sort of sees. He's. What would he do? He sees Claudia on the ground. Turns around, looks at you directly, Theren, and says, "This is an order. Rescue our fallen ally now." It is now. The Hydra with one head. It is going to make an attack against Vulcan.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
Vulcan's doing the most damage. It's sort of like...
Come on. Get one hit in.
Oh, would it? No, it's going to disengage and move. It's an animal. It's not doing too well. It's going to disengage and move 30 feet towards me. That's not 30 feet. Come on, move it a bit further. There you go, right, fine. And it just sort of scampers away, just going through the blood sort of going everywhere, and you can see it sort of beginning to slowly start to regenerate, but it's like trying to get away as much as it can. It is now Vincent's go.
I think Vincent is going to follow what Brooke has said.
Move back.
Yeah, so trying to stay stealthy. 5, 7, 5. Yeah, he could make that, couldn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Just have to roll stealth.
Yeah. So that's what.
Bonus action hide, are you thinking?
Yeah.
Go for it.
23.
23. Yeah, he's pretty hidden.
Right.
Wonderful. Vulcan is going to turn around. He is going to move 30 feet to see if he can get to
Claudia.
Claudia.
What, sort of around that way?
Yeah.
10.
15, 20, 25. Yeah, he should be
Just
there.
about?
Yeah.
Right, so he moves up to Claudia. And he is going to use his action to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level. Which picks her up again. That is that she is now on 12 health. Okay, you see her eyes like sort of jump open and she spits blood on the floor and is like already visible. Hydra is now turning around and focusing on the two of them and she's like, across those up on the floor. That's all he can do because he's got his concentration on something else. So Theren.
Theren is going to yell back at Regulus. The High Inquisitor has her, she's fine. And move next to him.
Yep.
And fire an Eldritch Blast at the Hydra that's retreating.
Roll your attacks.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Got him. Oh.
That's cocked.
Roll it in.
That's 25.
Right, roll your damage.
Can I borrow?
It could still technically survive if you roll 2 1s. It's got 4
Well, I
health.
get to roll 3 ones. 3, because it's...
What?
First one was a natural 20,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
get to roll
double
3
it, yeah.
ones.
Well, it depends if you're rolling or doubling, but yeah.
Rolling.
No, it
Oh.
was
9, 12, 13.
13. Okay. Yeah. This time your attacks hit true and just and the force billows into the corpse of this corpse of this Hydra, just sort of inflating it from the inside, and as the damage explodes it, it is pretty dead now. Okay. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
Okie dokie. So, Blackstar. Sneaking out. You can see Regulus.
Wait. I've not used all my movement.
No.
I am going to back away
No.
and make it look like I'm going towards this thing, but I'm just getting fucking away.
Okay, fine. You haven't seen Blackstar?
No.
It was just what he was going to do was go back. He was shooting at the thing and then going to
Fine.
Yeah,
That's what it
because I
was.
think Theren would, as soon as the thing is dead, wheel around to the next.
There's no reason to be there.
Yeah.
Exactly. If he's got movement, that's just what I'm thinking. I know that's kind of retconning. Is that okay?
No, that's fine.
Great. So I think I used about 15 feet of movement.
Yeah, you moved up 15 feet.
Yeah. So he's back here now.
Alright, fine. You're still using your shield. Keeping a distance, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm starting to
One
melee
thing I
range,
probably would have happened,
yeah.
because it's... Sorry, I forget that it's got more reach. As you moved away from the Hydra initially, you were within 10 feet of it, so it will get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, okay.
It's got more reach than
That's fine.
the average thing, but it doesn't hit. It only gets a 10 to hit, so
Okay.
yeah, you just sort of
Oh,
like...
wow.
The shield comes off, you blast, and then you come back. It is now Blackstar's turn. Regulus is turned round and he's already beginning to sort of seize up, look at the Hydra. Blackstar will stealth up behind with his 26 stealth. And he will make an attack
Yes.
against
Do it. Do it, Blackstar.
Regulus. He can see an opportunity where he can take down a member of the Order. He's going to do it. That is a... Because the AC is 20 and it gets 23 to hit.
Nice.
How many d6s would you like?
I've got enough actually.
Oh, good.
It's quite a lot. That is a terrible roll though. 11, 15, 17, 18, 23 points of damage.
Not bad.
Okay.
That's pretty
He
good.
comes up and Regulus just gets out of the way at the last minute, but still the blade finds a nick in the plate armor and just blood pours out as Regulus cries out, "Ah! Those allies! Traitors! There are people here attacking us, sir!" And he's just making noise and sort of turns around with the axe and is immediately going to sort of attack back. Blackstar, however, just sort of he's going to use his bonus action to disengage, and he will move sort of behind this tree here. Yeah, exactly, and away from the fight. You can see Regulus now already sort of like holding his side, like looking that way, looking at the Hydra, and sort of keeps an eye on Blackstar as he sort of moves out. We now go to pink, or the purple Hydra.
Purple Hydra.
The purple Hydra is going to make 5 attacks against Vulcan, I think.
Come on. Come on.
Do all that work for us.
Because it might not have figured out
What's going on?
that Claudia is up again. Natural 20, miss, hit. So 2 hits. 1 hit, we'll roll the hit first.
Equivalent of 5 hits. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
12 points of damage, and then 2 crits.
Oh, come
That is not that good. 12, so that's 19 total. No, 21 total, and so 40 points of damage total.
Jeez.
As it just starts biting into Vulcan, he sort of brings up the sword and is deflecting a couple of hits, but gets sort of bumped and bashed by a couple. But his gaze is sort of resolute and sort of holds up and is sort of still martially keeping this thing at bay. Claudia is going to get up.
One moment. Flaming sphere. He didn't move, so he's going to get hit by.
Nice.
that.
Nice.
Do I make a dex save?
I think so. Yes.
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 21.
Okay.
These things, they're good
That's
on flaming spheres.
No, that would have been good.
16.
16.
Eight.
So
8 points of damage. Alright.
Whew.
Okay, Claudia is going to get up and sort of like with crossbow is just going to and as you can see the crossbow sort of like and then fires twice
So
at
cool.
the creature.
Nice.
So cool.
She does it with disadvantage, however,
Yeah.
and she only has that to hit. So miss and hit. One of them does hit.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow. Just 10 points of damage. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad actually.
Has any of us taken damage there?
No.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh,
Bruce,
yeah.
okay.
But,
But-
9.
You're fine.
Okay,
Fine.
it sort of like backs out and just a bolt embedding in the sort of the bottom of the jaw of one of these heads as it writhes around, but it sort of is backing away. I hate to do this, but we're going to have to call it here at the end of this round of combat. And we'll come back to this next time because we are very much out of time and we don't want to run too late. But we'll take a picture of this and we'll come back at the top of the round. So keep your character sheets, make sure you know what's happening.
Yeah, I was about to do the best thing.
Well, now you have a whole week to think about it. Yeah, exactly. So until then, thank you very much. We'll see how the party get out of this just mess. And until then, thank you very much for watching. I shall see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
God damn it!